I have a patient here where I've injected half of her side and I've filled in the hip dips, and on the other side I have not. And I just kind of want to show you the difference between where an area of hip dip is filled compared to where it's not filled. Maximal projection. We want this line to be smooth. Not everyone lipos in the key area. Now, why do we even have hip dips in the first place? We have hip dips in the first place because there's no muscle there. And so for some patients that have really pronounced hip dips, what you'll see is they will have a very hypertrophied muscle. So these are your gymnasts, your hurdlers, your runners, your field hockey players, anything where you've really hypertrophied, where you've really built up the gluteus muscle. You will see a bigger hip dip because the hip dip is caused by an area where there just is no gluteus muscle. So let's say you're one of those people who's really hypertrophied their gluteal muscle, then this area here where there is no muscle will look deeper. And so that's why some of those people I just mentioned will have a deeper hip dip. Now here I've actually put a little bit of fat in already. But I want to show you, here's her hip dip, so you'll see how this comes in. So I don't really just attack it here just so that I can get a hip coming out and then have it look sort of unusual. What I really want to do is pay particular attention to if there is any fat here, which she has. This is what's going to start to determine where my line comes. You see the hollowing here? So this needs to be filled in too, because we don't want to have any areas where the line is irregular. So this here is very flat, so we want to fill that out. Let's just look at the other side quickly. This side is injected. So you see how this is just coming in nice and straight, and this is all filled, and it goes right into this fatty deposit. You can't even really tell now that there was this hollowing. So look on this side, this is the non-filled side. You see the hollowing. So the line is very flat here, and then you get sort of an abrupt transition to this area where now you have her natural fatty deposit, and then it goes flat again. Whereas here on the injected side, right from the leg, remember her knee's like just almost there, the leg comes up here, we go into that fatty deposit, but we can't really tell there's a transition because it's been injected now. And then that keeps coming up smooth into where her hip dip, this is nice and full now. This is where her hip dip was. And then if we just go right across and look at the other side, this is where the hip dip is. It's really not just an isolated like get hips. It's just all about following the OG line. And so that OG line starts way down near the knee, fill that in, use the fat that she has. I will add fat to this side. I know I can because I did it over there. And then blend it right in, and then this hip dip will take care of itself as I just follow the OG, and she'll get a really pretty shape. She actually has a couple of issues with chicken butt and some other things, but she's actually looking pretty good. I think I actually was able to kind of correct the chicken butt quite a bit. I'm really pretty happy with that. But the main thing I really wanted to show was how this line here, it's been filled. It's just a nice smooth transition right up into the key area. And then from there it goes up to the back. This line here is all kind of higgly-piggly. And so we're gonna fill this in, blend in with that, blend in. The hip dip will take care of itself. She'll get more projection. So hip dips to me are not simply like, oh, I wanna get hips and get a bigger hip. It's about maintaining that shape. And if you go for the OG shape and you follow the line, the hip dips will just fill themselves. Not completely themselves, but I'm pushing the fat in. But you know what I mean.